better.
And Born Again.
Underworld's great because it's had some of the best werewolves and vampires, that have been in cinema over the recent years, if not ever. And so it was a really great challenge to be given this mantle and say, can you guys achieve, what Patrick and team did prior to us? The Totopoulos group really raised the bar for makeup effects at that time. But, as technology develops and, artistic technique develops, you kind of need to keep going with it. It was kind of a good challenge for us to kind of go, hey, here's some artists that we really respect. Are we as good as them? And maybe can we, even push it a little further?
Here we go, everybody. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, action!
All of our work that has been done on the Lycans has been done in Vancouver by our Vancouver crew, which is another interesting accomplishment because our team here has done quite a few amazing things, but never this amount of stuff and never under this kind of crazy schedule. The overall materials of the Underworld 4 suits are more or less the same. I mean, they're foam latex suits. How we approach them, we benefited from a lot of what Totopoulos and company had done before. We were fortunate that we know those guys really well, and some of those guys are actually some of our guys now, which is great. Mark Finiello, for instance, was their foam runner over there at Totopoulos for quite a few of those shows, and he's now our coordinator. So he stepped in to do the foam work on these suits. So it's actually Mark's same foam recipe, maybe some slight improvements, but the way the suits were designed, the tricks that we were able to learn from Steve Wang and Patrick Totopoulos were really helpful. You don't make a werewolf suit every day, not even a company like ours. We make a lot of stuff, but we don't do it every day. And so each time you do this, you see new ways of improving things. Our team brought quite a few tricks of our own into the mix. And simple things, like just subtly shifting the muscle mass, subtly designing how the suit fits the performer.
And howl.
Once we finish it, we test it. We put it in front of the eyeballs of the lens, of the camera and the producers and everybody to see it through the one eye that really matters. One of the things that we noticed is the spectral, the shine that came off these things. A lot of creature movies, you want to just slime them up, and slimy's better, and it's usually kind of the monster maker mantra. But in this case, that shine came across a little artificial. And so we were really careful with the spectral and the glossing, but also the paint of it. We painted it a couple different times. It got a little lighter at a time because the blacks really seemed to crunch down. So we wanted to bring it up a bit.
On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
The real trick on this stuff is being pushed by the medium. Just kind of looking at it in a slightly adjusted way because of the medium, because of these 3D magnifying lenses, really, I think, brought that out.
And you're going to come up, and then just once you get up there.
We don't really want to make good fake stuff. We want to make good real stuff, right? So we really wanted to make these things feel like beasts, like living, breathing beasts, not just really good fake beasts. And so that was kind of the mandate from the beginning. It's like, don't sculpt clay, sculpt flesh. Don't make rubber move, make flesh move. Don't punch hair into rubber. Let's have hair growing out of skin. This medium, we're filming with magnifying glasses. I mean, you see every detail. So not only did it need to be technologically improved, it needed to be aesthetically improved. We're still using the same designs. We're still painting them very similarly, but we've added detail. We've added like hair in the nose. We've added tear ducts and eyelashes and really subtle hair that hopefully will really show in this process.
Okay, good. Keep rolling, keep rolling. And then go back to position 1.
Our Lycans are performed by Rich Citron, who's been around for a long time as a suit performer. He played William in number 2, and Dan Payne, who's our other suit performer. That was a real plus, having two guys that not only were of a great size for these characters, but had such great experience coming into it. We're cramming these guys into these thick foam rubber suits, and it's a magic trick. And if the performer inside doesn't work with all of us on the outside, not just cosmetically, but operating the features and performing the face, the magic trick is, much dimmer.
Hi, my name's Dan Payne, and I play one of the Lycans on Underworld 4.
It's quite a quite a challenge, not just performance, but just being able to last. I mean, it's 12, 14-hour days in foam rubber, hot lights, you know, people yelling at you with motors going on inside your head.
So what we're doing right now is we're pulling on internal tags, just so Dan doesn't rip the suit. They're just kind of inlaid here. Dan has sewed them in. It helps with the wear and tear.
Shimmy, twist out. Or you want it to
And now the important thing is just to make sure everything lines up.
Does that need to go higher?
Does it feel like it needs a twist out?
No.
And we really rely on Dan a whole lot here because he's been in the suit a bunch of times. He knows what fits.
It's pretty amazing that the transfer of my body to this suit, it's, I mean, it's like a glove. Hey, you don't want to miss this. Awkward. A lot of people bug me about my lack of manscaping. Nothing like a lichen with trainers. Sport lichen.
You know, as you can see with this, the one-piece foam suit, kind of underlaid with fabric. It helps us pull it on. These are separate gloves, and now we're just getting the head going. It's a skull cap with a camera mount rig, and we're just about to put the animatronic head on. And yeah, it all goes on in about half an hour. It's a real quick process.
The animatronics and the heads of the lichens were adapted a little bit for a couple reasons. Mainly, it was schedule and budget and trying to lessen the amount of puppeteers that were on set. So we went to our amazing animatronics guy, Richard Darwin, and said, hey, Richard, this is, not only do we want to do that, but we want to make the heads lighter, we want the mouth to open wider, and a bunch of other behind-the-scenes little features that would help us. You know, can you do all this craziness? And Richard, just quite the pro, he said, absolutely, and did that and more. We have two hero heads that the jaws will just open forever, and you know, we wanted them big enough to be able to chomp on someone's shoulders. They're very fast, very responsive, and it wasn't really part of the budget, but we really kind of needed to add some more animation, so we added these snarls into it. Richard and company really took it to task and made these wonderful, lightweight, extremely strong animatronic understructures that are all servo-controlled, all self-contained. There's one puppeteer on the outside who operates the jaw and the snarl and also acts as a communicator to the person on the inside listening to little headphones.
Cut! Nice, cut. Nice.
We sculpted the characters in a slight pissed off expression because there's not too many times lichens are happy and dancing through tulips.
There's one puppeteer per lichen. It's an up and down jaw mechanism with upper lip movement. We decided, just for the sake of efficiency, to kind of scale down the animatronics. Yeah. Previous films had ear movement, eye movement, and they just found that there was so much kind of vis effects enhancement anyway after the fact that just one puppeteer, one kind of simple, clean mechanism was a better way to go. It means there's more, you know, space inside the head, and so what we've been able to create with this, what Richard was able to do, was really, really powerful, good, fast jaw movement, which is something that's a little different and really, really effective.
There's definitely a learning curve of what I'm doing inside translating to the outside. You know, I might think I'm doing something that looks, in my mind, like a nice, you know, powerful pose, but then when you, Nicholas and the rest of, we've been filming it so I can see what it looks like when I feel it inside, I can know what it looks like outside. So I guess transferring what I'm doing to the suit, it's not difficult. That was actually kind of fun and a good challenge. The most just pure challenging part of it is trying to be a confident, powerful creature on stilts.
So the last piece of the whole puzzle are the stilts. These guys,
Yeah. I think
which strap on the outside, give them an extra foot, and they're converted kind of painter or, you know, drywall attacher stilts. So get to see those later on today. That's the last piece of the puzzle.
Those were lichens. Not extinct. More powerful than ever.
Ah!